Alright, for this video I am going to be showing all of you the top 3 weapons for each weapon category in Battlefield 2042, starting off with the assault rifles. In my personal opinion, the best assault rifle to be using right now is definitely the AK-5C. It's the most versatile assault rifle in the game. You don't even have to use any accuracy and increase in attachments on this gun, and it will still do really well. I know I see a lot of people tend to use the top 4 heavy suppressor on it with the Master Key shotgun under barrel attachment. And this gun, even despite all that, will still be able to beam people at quite long ranges too. But in my personal opinion, I like to focus on just making the gun as much of a beam machine as I possibly can, as opposed to like turning it into an overall, like, you know, good for anything basically. And this is what I use on the AK-5C to make it the best version that I think that I can make of it. I use the TR1 Thermo 1.25x in the first slot, the Fusion Hollow in the second slot, and then I use the T4 Thermo 2.5x sight in the third slot. And then I have a tactical compensator for as my main barrel attachment. Then I have heavy barrel to help pick off people at longer ranges. And if I feel like using a suppressor, I would normally use the SKU suppressor, but this gun is really good even with, like I said, the top 4 heavy suppressors. So if you want to use the suppressor on this gun, you can always use the top 4 heavy in the third slot. And then for the first underbarrel attachment, I have the LWG grip. Personal preference, this is for accuracy increasing only. Honestly, you could get away using Master Key anyways. But then my other underbarrel attachments are the incendiary grenade launcher and the regular HE grenade launcher. And then for the first magazine attachment, we have the close combat extended mags. I like having the increased fire rates, and there's not really much of a range drop off because, like I said, this gun is just overall really good. And then we have the standard issue extended mag to help with having a bit of an increased fire rate, as well as for taking on people at medium ranges. And then high power extended mags are also extremely really good on this AK-5C, and I have that in the third slot. And for the second assault rifle in the assault rifle category, we have the VHX-D3. This is my second favorite assault rifle in the game because, well, it's really good. What else can I say? It doesn't necessarily have as much versatility as the AK-5C, and because of the nerf that they did in this gun a while back, you will have a problem with accuracy sometimes. But other than that, this gun still is primarily pretty good beam machine regardless. And in the first slot, I have the Fusion Hollow sight with a TR1 Thermal 1.25x in the second slot for my sights. And then for the first barrel attachment, we have a tactical compensator, and I don't know why I have a heavy suppressor there. Actually, I do know why, because there's no top 4 heavy suppressor for this gun. But of course, I like to use the SKU suppressor for the most part. But as you can tell, I probably don't use the suppressors very much in this game. Probably should put on a SKU suppressor anyways. I know a lot of people like to use the rapid suppressor, but I like having the I don't like having my projectile velocity decreased. And for the first underbarrel attachment, we have the BCG light grip to help with increase my ADS accuracy, and then we have in the second underbarrel an incendiary grenade launcher with a smoke grenade launcher in the third underbarrel slot. And then for the first magazine type, I have the standard issue extended mag because I like having all the extra ammo, of course. And then I have in my second slot, standard issue magazine. And then I have subsonic for some reason. Oh, now I know why. I have subsonic to help with. I run subsonic with the PB heavy suppressor to keep myself off the minimap at times when I feel like using them. But other than that, there's also the high power rounds, but you only get 20 bullets with the VHX. I don't see the point. I probably don't even really need. Well, to be fair, I don't really use the third ammo type that often, anyways. But yeah, I have the subsonic rounds to go with the PB heavy suppressor. That's why I did. I remember now. It's been a while since I've used this gun, but I definitely still know that it's definitely the second best or one of the best weapons in the game. Assault rifles in the game too. And the third assault rifle that I think is the best in the game is the SFAR-MGL. This gun is really is a good beam machine, and the only reason that I would put it number 3 behind the other two is because it's not necessarily the best weapon for close quarters gunfights. And For the first side attachment, I have the TR1 Thermal 1.25x side because I can't see nobody. And then for the second category, I run Fusion Harlow because it's really going this far. Let's be real. And then for the third side, I have the T4 Thermal 2.5x sights. And then for the first barrel attachment, I have the tactical compensator. Honestly, you probably could get away with running a factory barrel, but I like having the increased accuracy with this gun, especially since you don't get any other accuracy increase in attachments with it. And then the second slot, I have the 6KU suppressor, even though I never really use it, let's be real. Probably could get away with using the rep suppressor if I had to be honest though, especially since I run high power rounds in this gun in the first slot. And then you could probably put on a long barrel to help with getting people at longer ranges if you wanted to, especially since it works really well with high power rounds. And then for the first underbarrel grenade launcher attachment, I have the incendiary grenade launcher. And then second, I have the smoke grenade launcher. And then for the third, I have the high explosive effect grenade launcher, just regular explosive, whatever. And then for the first barrel attachment or first magazine attachment, I have the high power drum round for this gun. It's honestly the best ammo type for this gun. And then if you need something for close quarters, you can switch to standard issue magazine to help out with that. And then in the third slot, I have high power rounds. And honestly, if I was playing redacted against dozers, then I probably would rather have armor piercing round in the third magazine slot just to help out with that. But yeah, S4 is definitely the third best assault rifle in the game. Now we go to the SMG category. The best SMG in the game is obviously the PB-29. It's been the best in the very beginning. It's honestly, this gun definitely would be a lot better than all the assault rifles if it wasn't for the headshot multiplier being so low on SMGs in this game. But yeah, other than that, I have the TR1 Thermal 1.25x sight in the first slot, and then I have a Fusion Harlow on the second slot because you can't go nothing wrong with the Fusion Harlow. And then I have, for my first barrel attachment, I have the tactical compensator to help with accuracy. And then for the second slot, I have extended barrel to help get people at longer ranges. Then I've seen, I have used the rep suppressor on this gun. The rep suppressor is really good on the PB-29, so you can put that in like the second category, third category, anyways. And then obviously there's no on the barrel attachment. And then for the first magazine type, I use the standard issue magazine. And then for the second, I have the subsonic rounds if I feel like using a suppressor. And then I'm pretty sure for the third one, yep, I have the high power rounds, which you're probably never going to use these two if you don't. You're probably never going to use these two weapons before you die, is what I'm trying to say, unless you're going on a streak, of course. And then the second best SMG in this game is definitely without a doubt the PP-2000. This submachine gun has the best, well, it feels like it has the best range of any SMG in the game. It's probably the best vault weapon for this category because the AK-74U and the P90 can't compete at range. I like using the PP-2000, and I definitely would put it behind the PP-29 as far as how effective it is. And then for the first barrel or first magazine, first sight attachment, I have the regular Cobra sight because it goes really well with this weapon. And then I don't know why I have this right there, that sight. I haven't used this gun really well, I guess, but yeah. And then I have the Thermal 1.25x sight in the second slot. It was in my third slot. And then for the first barrel attachment, I have the tactical compensator to help with my accuracy. And then for the second attachment, I have the 6KU suppressor, which I haven't tried the rep suppressor on this gun, but I don't like decreasing my projectile velocity with some machine guns, especially since the bullets don't travel as fast as with assault rifles do, tend to be anyways. And then obviously you want, for the first magazine attachment, you're going to want to use standard issue extended mag with the regular standard issue in the second slot for that. The third best SMG in the game, in my opinion, is the SCZ-3. This is definitely your third best SMG for range, especially. You can notice a pattern with my SMGs. I like to have a good SMG that's good in close quarters and longer ranges. For the first sight attachment, I have a Fusion Harlow, and then for the second sight, I have the Thermal 1.25x sight. And then for my first barrel attachment, obviously I run tactical compensator to increase my accuracy, and then I have a long barrel to help with further range gunfights. And I think I did have, yeah, you could use SysKU suppressor, whatever. I don't use suppressors to be honest, but if I was going to use suppressor, I'll use SysKU suppressor. Unless they're running subsonic rounds, then I'd probably use the PVA suppressor. And then for the first underbarrel attachment, you're going to want to use the BCG light grip to help with your accuracy. Honestly, you probably could get away with the STNR laser sight for close quarters if you want to put that in your second slot, but overall the BCG light grip provides better ADS accuracy. And then for the first magazine attachment, you're going to want to use a standard issue extended mags for the increased reload speed compared to the high power drum round mags, which have a better range but lower fire rates and has a lower reload speed. That's why I have this standard issue in the first slot. And then in my third slot, I have the standard issue drum mag because the reload is really slow, and because you only get two 50-round mags anyways. There's not much of a difference between the 10 extra bullets that you get with this. But if you run out of ammo, that's why I have the standard issue extended mags in the third slot. And then, of course, if you run the suppressors, you can use a subsonic rounds on this too. As for the LMG category, the best LMG is without a doubt the Advances LMG. You just can't compete with this gun. This gun is definitely got the best. It's got the best accuracy of all of them, and the fire rate's not that bad for what it's worth. And on this Advances, I have the Thermal 1.25x sight. And in the second slot, I have the XO Smart 2X because of this camo. This camo provides a cosmetic effect with this sight. But if I wasn't using this particular sight with this camo, then I definitely would be using either the top two, TV2X, the TV2X sight, or the Fusion Hollow sight. And then for my third side attachment, I have the Thermal 2.5x sight because you can't go anything wrong with LMGs with thermals on them. And then for the first barrel attachment, I have the tactical compensator to help increase my accuracy some more. And then I have the SysKU suppressor because it goes really well with this camo, and because I don't like having my projectile velocity decreased by the wrap suppressor. And then you could definitely run a long barrel in the first or second slot to help get people at longer ranges. And then for the underbarrel attachment, the only thing I use on this is the BCG light grip because overall this gun doesn't really need anything. It doesn't really need LWG grip or the Cobra grip to increase accuracy. It's just this gun is just, it doesn't need any other attachment besides the BCG light grip for accuracy. And then for my first magazine attachment, I have the center issue extended mag. And then for my second, I have the high power rounds that help get people at longer ranges than what's my third slot. My third slot is this regular standard issue extended mag in case the regular standard issue magazine in case I run out of ammo, which is very unlikely. But yeah, in case you run out of the standard issue extended mag, you can always switch the standard issue to be able to kill people as well. The second best LMG in the game is the LCMG, in my opinion. Honestly, if you want to compare this to the assault rifle category, this is basically the M5A3 of the LMGs, except that the overall LMG category is very well. It's not as good compared to your first starting LMG like it is with the assault rifles. And as for the LCMG sights or attachments, I have the TR Thermal 1.25x sight for my first slot because you can go nothing wrong with thermals. And then I have an 8R hollow sight in case people throw smoke grenades, so I can use that too. But of course you can also get away with running the Fusion Hollow sight on the LCMG as well. And then for the first barrel attachment, I have the shortened barrel to increase my fire rate, as well as to help with close quarters gunfights. And then the long range, the extended barrel for all my long range gunfights. And then you could use a SysKU suppressor or wrap suppressor on this gun, but again, I don't really normally use suppressors in this game. But if I was, I would definitely use the SysKU suppressor. And then I don't run the tactical compensator because I like having the increased fire rate from the shortened barrel. And then for the first under barrel attachment, you're going to want to use the LWG grip if you like to move around. It helps with the accuracy, especially if you're not running a tactical compensator. And then I have the Cobra grip in the second under barrel to help with killing people if I'm not moving. And then for my third slot, I have the regular grenade launcher, but honestly, if you want to have a smoke grenade launcher, that works too. Provide cover for your teammates if you're not trying to blow someone up. And then for the first magazine slot, I have the close combat rounds because of the increased fire rate and whatever. The close combat rounds have an increased fire rate. They have a faster reload and they shoot faster. Whatever, bro. I don't know what I'm saying. Increased fire rate, increased reload speed, increased magazine capacity compared to regular standard issue magazine slot. And then for the second magazine slot, I have the standard issue extended mag because, well, there's no other really good attachments, magazine attachments for this gun, honestly. In case you run out of ammo, this is definitely the magazine type you want to use on your LCMG. And then for the third slot, I have high power rounds, high power rounds, in case I need to be able to shoot people at further ranges. I've been talking way too much. My throat is so dry, but yeah, I have high power in for the third magazine slot for this LMG. The third best LMG in the LMG category is the DFR Strife. It's definitely your most versatile LMG in this category, but I don't like having the decreased ammo capacity, as you're about to see. With the DFR Strife, I tend to run the thermal 2.5x sight in the first slot, and then I have an A8 Harlow sight in the second slot in case people throw smoke grenades, but you could also get away with running Fusion Harlow sight on this gun. I like the Fusion Harlow on this one. I was running it before. And then for the first barrel attachment, you're going to want to use the tactical compensator, and then the top 4 heavy suppressor in the second slot because it is really good on this LMG for whatever reason from what I've seen. And then for the first under barrel attachment, I have the BCG live grip to help with all my ADS accuracy, and then my second under barrel, I have the incendiary grenade launcher to burn people, and then regular grenade launcher in my third slot. And then you could use a smoke grenade instead, and if you want to provide cover for your teammates. And then for the first first magazine attachment, I have the standard issue belt fed magazine type. This makes it whatever. This is your most LMG magazine attachment for this gun. You get 90 bullets. Why wouldn't you want to use that? And then for my second slot, I have the standard issue to make it a standard issue extended mag to make it seem like an assault rifle, because at the end of the day, this LMG is also it's a really good substitute for as an assault rifle if you run out of ammo with your standard belt fed magazine. And then for the third magazine type, I have a high power belt fed to help with all my long range gunfights. And then if you are playing Redacted, you can always use armor piercing belt fed in the third slot to help with killing dozers. And then you could also run the subsonic rounds to go with your top 4 heavy suppressor if you really wanted to. The best marksman rifle in the game was without a doubt the SVK. Its stats lie about it, in my opinion. Well, obviously it lies because the thing can literally two-shot up to like 100, 150 meters away. And even though, like, let's say for example with the SVT, the M39 EMR, those two DMRs show up as having better accuracy and range stats than this SVK, but they don't two-shot like it does. And trust me, it's definitely the best marksman rifle in the game, especially since I've dropped some pretty high kill streaks with it. I've dropped a 70 with it a while back, which I still haven't uploaded to YouTube. But anyways, the first sight attachment that I use with it is the T4 Thermal 2.5x sight, and then for the second sight I have the XDR Harlow because I got accustomed to using it with the G4 28 because that's the only 1.25x sight you have for that gun. And then I have a 2038 Thermal 6x sight to help with longer ranges because the recoil is not really that bad. And then for the first barrel attachment, I have the short barrel to increase my fire rate as much as possible, the bullet velocity is, and also decrease that badly. And then I have the extended barrel to help with all my longer range gunfights, and I don't even bother to use the suppressor on this gun. This gun is just too good for that, even in close quarters. And then for the first underbarrel attachment, I have the BCG light grip. I try to use the other underbarrel attachments, but the BCG light grip is definitely the best with the SVK. SVK. And then for the second underbarrel attachment, I have the high explosive HG grenade launcher. But then I guess I could put the armor piercing rounds on this to help with vehicles and dozer on redacted. And then the first magazine attachment that I use is the standard issue extended mag. And then for the second slot, I have the standard issue in case I run out of ammo. And then for the third slot, I have high power in case I run out of ammo. Really, I mean, unless you're planning on using armor piercing against dozers on redacted, I have the high power rounds there just in case I run out of ammo. I mean, at the end of the day, the SVK has such good range, despite what stats say that the standard issue rounds do really well. Eat really well, just like even compared to the high power rounds. And then the second best marksman rifle in the game is definitely the VSV-M. It's your go-to. It's your go-to DMR for the most part. I also like the fact that it's got an instant-girl suppressor on it. But yeah, other than that, I like to use the T4 Thermo 2.5X sight for my first barrel attachment, or first sight attachment. And then for my second slot, I have the K8 hollow sight because this sight goes really hard with this marksman rifle. And then for the first barrel attachment, I have the shortened suppressor on it to help with increase my fire rate to shorter ranges. And then I have the long barrel to if I need to kill people at further ranges. Then you could use the MGO laser sight, or you could use the BCG light grip. Either ways, I mean, this gun is so good as far as accuracy is concerned, even when it's full auto. That's why I don't bother running any accuracy increasing attachments for the underbarrel. And then for the first sight, you're going to want to actually want high power extended mag on this gun, especially for close quarters. This gun is a beast with this thing on. And then for my second slot, I have the subsonic high power extended mag, which this is the only ammo type of this kind in this game for this weapon, and you definitely want it in your second slot because it performs just almost like that regular high power extended rounds. And then for close quarters, I have the regular close combat rounds with an insane fire rate, honestly. But for the most part, if you don't run out of ammo, you're not going to want to use the close combat rounds. And then my number 3 best marksman rifle in the game is without a doubt the G428. Being that it's a full auto, really does help with all my closer range to longer range gunfights, even after being nerfed. And for this weapon, I have the Thermo 2.5X sight in the first sight, and then I have the XDR hollow because there's no other 1.25X sight, or at least there wasn't before. Let me see if there is. Nope. It hasn't changed, so yeah, you still want to use the XDR hollow sight on this weapon because there's no fusion hollow. And then I have a 2038 Thermal X6S to help with longer range gunfights, even though I don't even know why I have that, to be honest. Really, this gun doesn't really have as good range on it, so I wouldn't bother with that. And then for the first barrel attachment, you're going to want to use the tactical compensator to help increase accuracy. And then for my second slot, I have the extended barrel to help with longer range gunfights. And then for my first underbarrel, I have the LWG grip because you're going to be moving around a lot with this gun. And then for the second slot, I have the Cobra grip in case I need to stand still to kill somebody. And then for my third underbarrel attachment, I have the regular smoke grenade launcher to help provide cover for my teammates and whatnot. And then for the first magazine slot, I have the standard issue extended mag because there's nothing else really that's worth using on this gun. Well, I like whatever. My brain is just not working right now. I like using standard issue extended mag because all the other magazine types don't make sense to put in first. And then for the second slot, I have the standard issue extended mag, or standard issue, just regular standard issue regular, with the regular magazine in case I run out of ammo. And then for the third slot, I have the high power rounds in case I do run out of ammo. I don't really use this for range, to be honest. This is definitely a DMR that you want to use in close quarters, honestly. Alright, and the sniper category is it's a bit weird because honestly, I would put the Warsh MK-4 as my best sniper, honestly. Even though it's a tactical rifle, but yeah. You know, I want to say it, whatever. I want to say this is my best sniper. The Rorsch MK-4 is definitely the best sniper in the game because there's no bullet drop with this gun when you're shooting it. You just got to get used to holding the trigger for a certain period of time to be able to snipe people. And other than that, I have the 6K M11 6X scope to help with sniping, and then I run the TR1 Thermal 1.25X and Thermal 2.5X to help with closer range gunfights, as well as for well, to keep my sniper glint from showing up on the screen if I'm trying to look at people through smoke. And then you have your regular factory barrel, and then for your first magazine slot you're going to want, or underbarrel, whatever you want to call it, you have your high power capacitor because that's your real sniper, the sniper rounds, and then I have the stream capacitor to, well, for close range gunfights, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, as a sniper rifle, I would like using this the most, despite having that as an ammo type or whatever. And then armor piercing rounds in your magazine slot doesn't really change anything, but yeah, this is definitely my best sniper in the game. And then as far as my actual best sniper in the game, it's definitely without a doubt the SWS-10. It's got the best stats of all the snipers in the actual sniper category in the game. It's also the most versatile sniper. And for that, I have the M11 6X scope for sniping. They have the Shan 2.5X sight to help with close range gunfights. And then to increase my magnification, I have the BKS 8X sight. And then if you wanted to, you could run a 2030 Thermal 6S sight to be able to see some people sometimes, because you know it's kind of hard to see people when they're not moving in this game. And then for the first barrel attachment, I have the long barrel or extended barrel because I like having the increased bullet velocity at projectile velocity at longer ranges. And then for closer quarters, I have the short barrel to increase my fire rate. And then for the first underbarrel attachment, we have the BCG light grip because I like having my ADS accuracy increased as much as possible with sniper, especially. And then for the second underbarrel attachment, I have the HE underbarrel, the HE grenade launcher. But of course, if you had it, you could also use the smoke grenade underbarrel grenade launcher, or maybe even a master key. I don't know how good it is on this sniper, but I know it's definitely good on the AK-5C. And then for the first magazine slot, we have the 7-inch extended mag because that's definitely your most versatile ammo type for longer range and closer range gunfights. And then I have the close combat round in the second slot in case they're out of ammo. It also helps that you get higher ammo capacity and higher fire rate, even though the range is not as good. And then in my third magazine magazine type, I have the regular high power rounds if I need to kill people at very, very, very far ranges. It also helps to have this ammo type if I run out of ammo. And the third best sniper rifle in the game, in my opinion, is the Gold Sniper Magnum. It's got the best stats of all the snipers in the game for long ranges. And other than I mean, I wish you had more attachments with this gun, but it's fine, I guess. This is definitely a decent sniper rifle without any underbarrel attachments or barrel attachments. And for the first slot, I have the M11 6X sight to help with sniping. Then I have the Thermal 6X sight to help see people if they're not moving. It's hard to see people sometimes. And then for the third slot, the BKS 8X sight to get a better magnification. Then you're not going to have any a different barrel attachment because there's no other barrel attachments. Then of course I have the bipod for whatever reason, even though I don't really go prone to ever use the bipod or lean up on anything to use that. And then for the first magazine slot, we have the 7-inch extended mag with the regular 7-inch being in the second slot, which, yeah. And by the way, I would like to say that this is definitely the best sniper in the game without any accuracy increasement attachments, but because it doesn't have any, this is why I would put it in number 3. But of course, if you want something better for closer ranges, then of course, on a side note, as for a fourth weapon, I guess you could use the NTW50 for closer range sniping gunfights. And for this, I just have the K8 hollow side with the M11 6X sight to help at longer ranges, and the barrel attachment, factory barrel, and then you have a regular ADR bipod, and then anti-material with anti-material high power rounds. But yeah, this is definitely the sniper you want to use for close quarters. The best weapons in the tactical category is definitely the 12M auto shotgun. This is my favorite shotgun in the game. It's definitely the most consistent one as far as I'm concerned. You're without a doubt you're going to consistently get 2-shot kills in close range with this gun versus any other shotgun in the game. And then for the first barrel attachment, we have the regular factory barrel with a Type 4 heavy suppressor in the second slot, which I don't even know what's the point of even having the Type 4 heavy suppressor. You can run subsonic rounds on the shotgun or whatever. It's there for cosmetic, I guess. And then I have the LWG grip and the Cobra grip on the underbarrel to help whatever, if I'm moving around, if I'm not moving. This really does help out with increased accuracy on redacted especially. And then for the first magazine slot, I have the #1 buckshot drum mag, because you want to have all the shotgun shells you can get. And then for the second slot, I have the #1 buckshot shell extended mag, if in case I run out of ammo. And then for my third slot, I have the flechette shell rounds, because I like having the extra damage against the infantry if I run out of ammo with the other two ammo types. And then the second best as a tactical shotgun or whatever in this game is definitely the MCS-880. After they did some buffing to the gun, they really did make this gun definitely worth using a lot more than it was when this game first came out especially. But yeah, for the first side, I have the K8 hollow side, because close quarters, you don't want to use thermal, it doesn't matter. And then for the first barrel attachment, I have the regular factory barrel, and then I guess you could use the Type 4 heavy spreads for no particular reason, but I don't see the point. But yeah, I just have regular factory barrel for the first barrel attachment. And then for the first for the underbarrel attachment, I run BCG light grip, because I like the ADS when I'm using the shotgun instead of hip firing. Although you could get away with definitely using the laser sight on this gun as well if you really wanted to, if you wanted to hip fire. And then for the first ammo type, I have the #1 buckshot, because it's the most consistent shotgun shell as far as range and damage is concerned. And then, well, I mean, I would like to use the #4 buckshot in the second ammo type category, even though it doesn't have as good a range. If you get close enough to enemies, you definitely would rather have the #4 buckshot for overall damage. And then for my third slot, I have the slug rounds if I need to kill people at longer ranges. And or you could also use the flechette rounds on map like redacted for the extra infantry damage. And don't ever use the number 00 buckshot. It's weak. I don't know what to really think of my third best weapon for the tactical category, because honestly, the Rorsch is definitely, well, my favorite sniper, even though it's in the tactical category. But yeah, other than that, I guess you could put whatever you want, like the Ghostmaker or the NVK S22. If you're not good with XC, then you know I wouldn't use the Ghostmaker on for my tacticals, but if you just want to use like a regular shotgun, the MVK-S22 is also not really that bad, because this gun is still like a 2-shot kill. It's not as good as it was when the game first came out, but I definitely like to use the NVK-S22 shotgun anyways sometimes. And then for this, I have the NVK-FSN hollow sight for my first sight, and then for the barrel attachment, I have I have the factory barrel. And I don't know why anyone would ever use a suppressor on a shotgun, even though it looks kind of cool. And then for the first underbarrel, I have the LWG grip to help with accuracy. And then if I'm not moving, I have the Cobra grip as well. And I know at once upon a time I was using the MGL laser sight on this gun, but I like having the increased accuracy from the LWG grip and Cobra grips. And then for the first ammo type, you want to use #1 buckshot with slug rounds in your second, and flechette rounds in your third slot if you need the extra infantry damage. The best secondary / sidearm in this game is without a doubt the Deagle. This is my personal favorite sidearm in the game. Honestly, it's got ridiculous damage output, and there's not really much that can even compete. Like, this is like just a little hand cannon in my opinion. This is what makes the Deagle so freaking dangerous. BFP-50, or I should say .50, whatever. The first thing you want to use on the Deagle We have the Fusion Hollow sight with a T4 TV2X sight to help with longer ranges, I guess, if I need to use that. Then from a barrel attachment, I have with the regular factory barrel, and then under barrel, you're never going to want to use flashlight, and I don't see the point of using factory mounts. So yeah, I have a laser sight underneath, and then in the first magazine slot, I have the high power rounds because this gun is just ridiculous, and it doesn't really benefit much from having the increased fire rate from the close combat rounds which I have in the second slot. But yeah, I just like having the overall damage output with this secondary is just insane. Even when you're not even in close quarters, even if you're not using the close combat rounds. And then number 2 for secondaries is definitely the G57 machine pistol. Make sure you put it on burst fire mode because this gun is not good if it's not on burst fire mode. In fact, that's the only way you can even make this gun even worthwhile against primary weapons in this game. And for that, I have the regular Fusion Hollow sight in the first sight, and then for the first barrel attachment, we have the regular. We have a tactical compensator because I like having the increased accuracy. And then under barrel, there's no, you don't want to use a factory mounts. You don't want to use flashlight. I have the regular laser sight. And then for the first magazine type, I'm definitely going to want to use close combat mag drum rounds because you like having the extra ammo capacity, extra fire rate, especially with a sidearm pistol. And then if you run out of ammo, I have the close combat extended mags for that, which is very easy if you treat this weapon like a primary weapon. And then my third slot, I have the regular close combat rounds in case I run out of ammo. And I wouldn't recommend using subsonic rounds unless you use a suppressor, which the only thing you get is this, the GAR 4 or 5 suppressor. It's really pointless to use the subsonic rounds on this gun, weapon, whatever, sidearm. And then the third best secondary / sidearm in this game, in my opinion, is the MP28. It's definitely the most versatile sidearm secondary in the game. It's great for close and longer ranges. I would put the M44 in the third slot, but I like having the extra. I like having the higher fire rates with the MP28, and it's good in close quarters versus the M44, which you got to get a headshot just to get a one-shot kill with that. And on this, I have the MP28 red dot sight. I don't see the point of using any other side. And then for the whatever, I put on the Warhawk compensator because it goes well with this with this camo type. But no, I would rather use the tactical compensator on this pistol. And then for the underbarrel attachment, we have the laser sights. And then for the first magazine type, we have the standard issue drum mag, because you want to have that extra ammo capacity, and besides, looks good with this camo. And then for the second slot, I have the standard issue extended mag, and what's better than one mag? 2 mags, obviously, because wait, show it to me. Yeah, 2 mags is better than 1 because it looks. I don't know what I'm on about, but yeah, 2 mags is better than 1, and clearly you don't get 2 mags if you're running the drum mag. I like having the second slot in case I run out of ammo, too. And then for the third magazine type, we have the standard issue magazine, even though you're probably never going to use it because you're never going to run out of ammo without dying or whatever. And then we have subsonic rounds for some reason, even though subsonic rounds would only be good with the spook-wise suppressor or whatever. Anyways, that's all that's going to do for this type of video. I don't normally do content like that, but yeah, someone recommended I do it, and it looks like it's plenty of views, so let's see how that goes. And yeah, I'm almost out of breath right now. My throat is sore. I don't feel like talking anymore, so yeah. If I haven't said already, again, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to reach 1 million subscribers, please. I'd greatly appreciate it, and yeah, that's all it's going to do with this video, eh?